What's up, y'all? You know what this is. This is Melo.
Car, man. It's Car, man.
Who the hell is Kai, man?
Nah, it's Kiyan. We here.
Come on, let's kick it off. Ready? You know, this is a father and son conversation. Hopefully this conversation can bring a lot of father and sons closer and closer together.
Word. And if it's close friends only, you know it's real.
And you know it's real. How random is the close friends, though?
I change my close friends a lot, too. So, like, if I want to post something for just my friends to see, just all my bros to see, I'll take everybody out and just put my closest friends. But, like, if I got a good picture or something, I might put old girls in there. See what I'm saying? So, like, close friends could vary and change depending on the day. I mean, I never seen a close friend, so I'm assuming I'm not in a close friend. But I'm just saying, have you ever posted your close friends?
It's people's canvas, right? So you get a chance to see people and learn their canvas, learn what type of paint they like to paint with, learn, you know, what they medium is, what their art medium is on the canvas.
Have you ever seen a post about me and wanted to comment, but didn't want to seem like too much of a dad?
Yes and yes, I have done it before. You know, if it's something that I see that is bad about you, or somebody saying something negative towards you about you, if it makes sense, then sometimes I'll comment and say respect. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, you got a great point on that.
Word.
But if sometimes you just talking to be talking, right? And that's when the dad hat comes on. A lot of people say, you know, we have this kind of tag against us, and you especially as Melo's son. How does that make you feel?
I don't really got a problem with it, to be honest. I feel like anybody would want to be Melo's son. So at the end of the day, I'm my own person. I got to do my own things on and off the court. So what the people don't see is just on the court, just the hard work, the training and all of that. And then off the court, I feel like we have similar personalities, but at the same time, we two different people. So can't label me as just Melo's son.
You is, though.
Word. That's why I don't really. When you was my age, what was you trying to prove to everybody?
That's a good question. When I was your age, I think I was trying to prove that I belonged. I wanted to prove to myself too, like I can do it. So I wanted to prove to people that I belong in part of the conversations when they talking about who's some of the best players. But also on the flip side of that, I had to prove myself right. What are some of your go-tos on Instagram outside of like basketball and your highlights?
All relatable stuff, like all stuff you're doing on your daily basis. If you like cooking, you're gonna look at all cooking videos to try to get new recipes, to try to see what you could do better or you could do worse. So me personally, I look at a lot of music. I follow a lot of rappers on Instagram just to see. I could be the first one to know when they're dropping music, different music videos. All of my friends, I always tap into, what they doing, making sure they good, and I feel like they do the same. So what about you, though? I know you be
I'm random.
all over.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. From astrology to vacations to, custom mugs to, to blankets to studio equipment is very, very random. Honestly, last search on Instagram was best Puerto Rican food in Brooklyn. That's what I was searching.
No, I didn't
type it in.
I didn't know you can treat Instagram like Safari. I didn't know you could search.
See, this is why we having this conversation. This is part of the conversation too.
That's what I'm saying. I thought you could get the username, okay, Puerto Rican spot. I didn't know you could be like Puerto Rican spots in Brooklyn.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want on there. Now that you're going to school, off to school, Syracuse, and like utilizing Instagram to stay connected, like even with me, how are you going to utilize that, especially the times that I'm not there, or maybe times that I am there, you with your team and you doing what you're doing. How are you going to utilize Instagram when it comes to keeping that connectivity with me?
I feel like Instagram keeps everyone connected. Instagram like a whole nother world. But yeah, especially me and you, definitely keeps us connected. Like just with the videos, getting a laugh out of the video, something we could connect on. I feel like all of that goes into staying connected.
Yeah, the connection on Instagram it's gonna always be that, because there's gonna always be something funny as hell on there. It's gonna always be something that's a quote that maybe resonate with you that I might send to you. You might send to me. It's a song. It's an outfit. It's some sneakers. It's a movie. It's a book. Whatever it may be, it's never the same thing that keeps us connected on Instagram. Our relationship is very simple. It's very simple. From a standpoint of just going through the day-to-day of being a father, you being the son, you being a kid, you being a young man. Like, those things just happen naturally. That's what we deal with every single day. But what we put out there, we put a lot of, vibes and good energy out there as well. But also some things that we put out there, some people may look at that as pressure. And it's not. And it's very simple, our connection and what we do on a day-to-day basis. All right, outside of basketball, what's the biggest things that I've taught you?
I feel like we got a different type of connection than everybody else. Like, even though you my dad, you still, like, I could talk to you about just like I'm talking to one of my bros or one of my friends. So I feel like right there is just you teaching me I feel comfortable to come to you and talk to you about anything for real. So, like, that's really what you taught me, just to not be, if it's good or bad, still come to you, because you always gonna tell me the real and you always gonna keep it 100. So, facts.
Let me ask you this. What do you think when you watch your highlights? Is it beneficial to you or not?
No, I feel like it's beneficial. When I watch my highlights, I'd be surprised at, like, some of the stuff I be doing. When you in the game goes so fast, sometimes you don't even remember, like, a move you made or a pass you made. So watching your highlights, I feel like it's super beneficial.
Did you ever feel a lack of confidence and you had to go to your highlights to gain some confidence?
When you're not playing good, sometimes you need a reminder, like, you're still that guy. So you gotta go to your highlights.
What are some of your go-tos on Instagram? Outside of, like, basketball and your highlights, what are some of the other lanes that you go to, other genres that you go to?
Oh, I'll be on Instagram Reels. So, okay. Reels is like, you might get a cooking video,
anything,
to a dancing video, to something totally
to a
different.
Dog video.
That's what I'm saying. So I saw a cooking video. I tried to cook. I made some pasta, but it didn't look the same. No.
I ain't rolling with that.
No, I made some fettuccine Alfredo. It had, like, turkey bacon and chicken on it. So I tried to make it step by step, but it wasn't.
It was, this is what you asked for and this is what you got? Like, it was
no, that was how I got. But it was really, I was like, so if I follow this step by step, cool.
You can't go wrong.
Cool, set the oven, 350, boom, 15 minutes, cool. Did that. And the video came out looking like golden, crispy. I'm like, I bet. I'm like, cheese was melting from here. I'm like, I bet. I did that. Couldn't even eat it. So that's what I would say. I tried it, didn't work.
We don't have a family group chat, but we send reels. We, something he might see that he want me to see. I'll send him, like, funny videos.
No, for real.
People doing dumb stuff out there in the streets. I'll send him, like, old basketball highlights or old basketball clips of, like, players who he probably never saw him play before, and just to, kind of keep him sharp when it comes to the game of basketball.
Oh, have you ever looked at my tag videos to see how other people are breaking down my game?
All the time.
And have you ever looked at my video and been like, oh, I would cook that kid?
All the time. But I would say, let me go into the first question first. I like to see what other people are saying. Right? I like to see what, if you got a highlight reel on there and I'm watching, I'm looking at it, I like to see, like, what somebody is saying. And then you can really understand if somebody really know the game or don't know the game, or how they looking at the game, and you respect the perspectives. But when I watch the highlights, I'm looking for certain things. Depending on the game, depending on the situation, I'm looking for certain things. So I don't look at it like everybody else might look at it. I do look at it like, nah, 8-10, destroy this. What?
Yeah,
light.
Yeah,
What's a moment when you took a creative risk and it paid off?
I have a clothing brand page. It's called One Way Clothing. Most people would try to keep that separate, like the personal with the business, with the clothing brand. But I decided to do a collab post, like with my main page and my brand page, and it got like almost 1 million views. I got a lot of followers. So after I did that, I realized like, oh, people actually want to see the clothes. They actually want to buy the clothes, interact with them. So same question to you. What's one of your creative risks that turned out to be successful?
Retiring early, because if I didn't have things and ideas and concepts and a vision, then it would have been all bad after that, right? But the fact that, you know, I had to get over retirement, but then step into the real world and step into a mindset of figuring out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, and creatively going out there and doing it on my own, and with my own team, and not having any back end on anything that I'm doing. So I took that risk, you know, and I didn't take the traditional path, and that's a creative risk to take. So I do have a question for you in reference to that. How do you know what fit pic to post at what time?
Depending on where you're at, like you might not have one outfit in a post. It might be three different outfits. You might throw a basketball picture in there. You gotta grow the post. You gotta really look. Then it goes deeper than that. You gotta find a good caption.
Okay.
You gotta find a song to put on the post.
Okay.
Do you want to tag the people that took the pictures? Do you want to throw a video in there?
People get mad if you don't tag.
That's what I'm saying. Do you want to throw a video in there? So it's mad stuff that goes into just making one post. And you know, as soon as you press post, everybody's gonna see it. So
how long does that take you?
I would say
from the picture that you take to the time that you post and everything in between.
So if I take a picture of you right now, boom, and I look at it, I'll be like, oh, we could post that. Mm-hmm. I will go sit down in the corner. I will find a caption. Might go on Instagram. Good captions for this. Okay. Good captions for being in the office. Boom. Find a caption. Put that on. I'm gonna find a song that relates to you sitting in the chair with your teacup. Then that might take 15 to 30 minutes. By that time, it's ready to post. Do you ever look at the way people in my generation post and be like, damn, I wish I had that freedom? Or do you think it will mess you up in the game?
It's some things that be like, damn, like they posting that?
No.
They just posted that? Like it's certain things, some things like that. But it's just some things that couldn't have been posted at that point in time. Because as a basketball player specifically, it was no way. Like, it was problems with how we dress. It was problems with how we walk. It was problems with how we talk. It was problems with how we showed up in the room. It was an issue with every single thing. So if you posted a video of doing something that y'all are allowed to post today, you would have been out the league at that point in time, early. So I like to say that we fought for that for y'all. Like, we paved the way for y'all to be able to have this freedom to roam and go out there and post whatever y'all want to say, this freedom of speech, this freedom of movement. Like, we had to go through it in order for y'all to kind of reap those benefits.
If it was a teen Instagram account, certain restrictions, certain privacy, do you feel like through my middle school years, I would have been able to have Instagram? I would have definitely let you. I would have did the research. We would have did the research on it. And we would have did the research. Now, we would have allowed you to do that because of the restrictions and all of that, if that was the case. I would give myself some credit on that. But I also would give your mother some credit because she stood tall on you not having Instagram. If it was up to her, you probably would have just got Instagram. So for me, for us, it was just more about having a conversation and like, okay, now he's proven himself, or he's responsible, or let's try this and let's take it step by step and just see what happens. And once you got it,
those little tests that, you know, you were being tested with, you was passing them with flying colors. So every test just allowed to kind of open the door more and more and more. And I had to say, yo, come on, like, you got to give him a chance. But it was a collective effort. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It was both of us who really understood the power of Instagram and was like, we're not gonna let you on there right there. So yeah, so there's a lot of dialogue happens between parents and kids, and at times there's a lack of dialogue between parents and kids. Why do you think that? Why do you think parents may not understand or comprehend a lot of what you guys going through or deal with or see or know?
I feel like it starts with the parent. I feel like as a parent, you gotta show your kid that, you know, he could trust you or she could trust you. He could feel open to come to you, show you these type of videos. Once the parent shows, you know, I'm not interested, I don't wanna see these videos, stop showing me this, then the kid is gonna shut down. So that's why I feel like when I be showing you videos, I be trying to see if you really laughing or you just fake laughing. But
you try to say I fake laugh? I never fake.
No, that's what I'm saying. I really be looking like to see a genuine reaction, because like if you fake laughing, I'm not about to keep showing you videos.
Right. That's
so
right.
Like that's what I'm saying with the.
But a lot of that happens.
The parents. Nah, for sure. I know a lot of people that don't show their parents nothing.
Yeah. And that's sad though.
No, that's tragic.
Yeah.
That's tragic.
What is one message on IG that you wish people could see or parents could see that they may have a different perspective on?
You gotta evolve, because kids is evolving. So now everything's on Instagram. As a parent that was coming up in the 80s and the 90s, you probably not gonna want your kid to be on Instagram, but this how people get paid, this how people do all of that. So it's like, you gotta learn to evolve and understand how Instagram works.
I'll tell you one thing I've learned from dealing with y'all and your generation is that we have to listen. We listen. We have to be, I know I listen. I listen to what y'all say. I listen to what y'all, how y'all walk around. I watch what y'all, you know, watch what y'all watch just to see if I can tap into something that y'all are thinking. That'll help me out in the long run. So I will say you made a great point of like, you know, there's some people that's stuck in the 90s. Like it's stuck in the 90s, it's stuck in the 80s, it's stuck in the, nowadays, a lot of things that we were taught and went through is gone. CDs is gone. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's out of here. Cassette tapes is gone. You know, they got clouds out there full of content and information and music, and what are we gonna do with a CD now?
Nothing.
So one hand wash the other, both wash the face. You understand? When you chose Syracuse, what was that moment like?
Everybody was waiting to see me make my decision. So, you know, when I made my decision, it was like a big pressure reliever, because now I could chill, and now I don't have to worry about, you know, people trying to guess where I'm going or putting opinions on it. I feel like I chose Syracuse because my last two was between Syracuse and USC. So obviously Syracuse closer to home, good coaching staff, good group of players that's come with me. And obviously you went there, so just to have the opportunity to, you know, follow in your footsteps in a way and just try to, you know, do whatever I can to go in there and you know, help the team win. So I feel like that was the main two things on why I chose Syracuse and why I feel like it was a, you know, a good option. So when you was at Syracuse, what it felt like back in the day? I was like 30 years ago.
It wasn't 30, champ. It was a couple years ago. I'll tell you why I chose Syracuse. I chose Syracuse because for one, it was a perfect situation for me to step into there and play right off the back as a freshman. It was just a connection, the community, the way that they embraced me, although winning, you know, did play a part in that too. But all of that made that decision. It validated my decision to go to Q. So there you guys have it, man. Listen, this was a very, very intimate conversation, father-son conversation, a very important conversation, discussing the topics of social media, a topic that I think is very much needed between parents and kids, but also between fathers and sons. That conversation don't happen often, and I personally believe that the more and more you can discuss that, the more and more you can get inside of your son's, mindset or your kid's mindset, the better off you would be, the better off we all would be as parents. So with that being said, man, you know who we here with. This is Instagram, and we are here with Close Friends Only.